Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're back once again with another review of a national final. This time we're going to be talking about the 24 acts competing in the Malta Eurovision Song Contest 2025. 24 of them have to go through the two semi-finals and 16 of them are going to qualify for the grand final. And it's all taking place very, very soon. Guys, what do you think about this year's Malta Eurovision Song Contest? Is it better? Is it worse than it was? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm actually really pleasantly surprised actually when the songs came out. I my expectations when you've got 24 songs from Malta, maybe not the highest, but I think there's a vast improvement on what we've had the last 2, 3 years. I think overall the bunch of songs is really good. There's only about four that I would not want to listen to, which is a huge improvement. And yeah, looking forward to the show. I think it'll be actually good if they can elevate them staging wise. Then yeah, it should be good.
Yes, definitely. I mean, to answer your question, it could not have been worse than what it used to be. So it's miles better. The quality has improved. Even the hype in Malta around the show is pretty decent this year. And it's always better to have 24 songs, not 40, which is what we've been having for the last couple of years. So yeah, all smiles.
I think it's a lot better as well. We've seemed to have moved away from novelty rappers and washed up drag queens, more into better songs, better artists with better vocals. So the songwriting is really tight, and I'm looking forward to talking about what we've got on offer tonight.
I'm just happy that we're back to actual live shows with an audience, a massive big stage, and nothing is pre-recorded. So good on you, TVM, for doing that, and we all hope that you're going to keep doing that for the years to come as well. And also, the hints of the stage that we got looks really good. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how all of these performances are going to look on that stage. And then let's start with the first song. It's going to be Juno by Victoria. Nick, what did you think about this one?
Yeah, so the start of the song is very promising. It seems to be building to something, but then I felt it drifted into a song that sounded like it would get knocked out quite early in a Norwegian MGP semi-final. It didn't really have much of a hold or a grip to me. It's enjoyable, but there's a lot of good up-tempo songs in the contest this year, and I felt this was more of a medium level compared to some of the really good, strong, competitive songs that we have. So I didn't not enjoy it. I just didn't really feel it would be competitive in Basel.
I think it's pretty good. Look at me talking about the first Malta Eurovision Song Contest entry. It's I like it. It's the first time actually Victoria's singing a single in English. She's usually singing in Maltese, and she's not a stranger to our Kenga Magique, which is called Musica Musica. And it's her first time at MESC. I think it's a decent debut. It's it's got a good melody. Production is good. I probably would have preferred it fully in Maltese, knowing what Victoria's comfortable with. But it's solid. It's a solid start.
For a second, Sean, I thought it's like she took part in an Albanian festival prior to competing in Malta Eurovision. Like, how does that happen? All right, let's score it out of 10. Nick,
Yeah, solid, a solid seven.
Kyle,
Six.
Sean.
7.
I feel generous. I'm gonna go with an 8. And if I'm not wrong, Victoria scores 28. Dario Bezzina featuring Zeppi l-Muni are next with Aslit. Kyle, what did you think about the replacement entry?
I think there was a reason why it did not make the original lineup. Um, yeah, it's just nothingy. That's the best word to describe it for me. It's ploddy and it's there, and it's 3 minutes of just, oh, we'll plod along on stage. It does nothing for me. It does nothing for a lot of people, I think. You need something to grab you, and this just passes you by. So, yep, it's not going to do much. And I'd be very surprised if this qualified for the final. Sorry.
Well, ooh, where do I start? Like, For me,
Tell him before I do.
I will. No, for me, like this replacement entry is actually much, much better than most of the originally selected ones. And I'm really, really happy that these guys made it through, as this is actually like a pretty decent song. The melody of it is just like so gentle. The flow of the song is so good, and the way that the instrumentation is done is just like, I don't know, like very clever. To be perfectly honest, like I wouldn't necessarily put this on my playlist, but whenever I was listening to this song, like I enjoyed every single second of it. It made me feel like completely relaxed, put a smile on my face, and like I have no idea what they're singing about, to be perfectly honest, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope that they actually make the finals. Sorry, Kyle.
Can I just put this in here? This
Yeah.
is the first time in the Malta Eurovision Song Contest history ever that we have a song sung in Ana, which is our folk style of singing. So
Okay.
get ready, y'all.
Has to go through.
Has to go through. Get ready to be surprised, Kyle.
Well, we're ready for Kyle's low score then. Kyle, out of 10.
I've given it a generous 2.
Sean,
9.
this is going to be another 8 for me. Nick,
I agreed with one of your sentences, Irvin. I wouldn't put this on my playlist. 4.
23 points for Dario and Zeppi. The Alchemists are next with Rubble and Stone. Sean,
Okay. Their first time competing. Ben Darmanin, who's the lead singer, did compete before with Klinsmann in 2011. And to be honest, it was a similar kind of, I'm going to call it guitar pop. Guitar pop, yeah. I don't think this is original. I don't think this is shaking the boat. And I would have been perfectly fine if I didn't get the song at MESC. It does nothing for me. I think maybe, we could have gotten someone else from the reserves, maybe, because seeing what we got when an entry got disqualified, maybe we could have gotten more reserves. I don't like it. It's really unoriginal. I could have done without it.
Yeah, for me, this is just some good, light-hearted, sort of folky pop guitar vibes. It's not that original, but I find myself, clicking along to it, tap my toes to it, and it kind of gave me, not to just mention Firelight because it's a bit lazy, but that kind of vibe, where I think it has quite mass appeal to sort of casual fans, but it's nothing that original or unique. Maybe a bit like, the Heroes, Måns Zelmerlöw, that kind of Swedish pop that country that was big 10 years ago. But it's all right. It'd be a good addition to the final, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
out of 10. Sean,
3.
see, I sort of enjoyed most of Klinsmann's songs, so I think this is why I sort of enjoyed this one as well. It's a 6 for me. Nick,
I hope it doesn't make the final. 4.
Kyle,
My turn to be generous. 7.
20 points for the Alchemists. Martina Borg is up next with Yo Listen. And I mean, for me, this song isn't something that we haven't heard before, but in this lineup, it stands out in a way for just being different to everything else. And there are some parts of the song that remind me of like scat singing. Those are really good fun. And the melody of the song is pretty nice. I also like how the song develops, but again, like it's not the song that's going to change the world. It's not going to set the scoreboard on fire. And it's also one of the songs that's not going to end up on my playlist. But it's perfectly nice. I'll be looking forward to seeing how they stage this, and also how she is going to sing this live. And there was one moment in the song where she was beeped, so I hope that doesn't happen in the live version as well, just like in the studio one.
I didn't want to make like basic comparisons, but this really reminded me in style of another song, which is Forget You by CeeLo Green, in just its style. That song was 14 years ago. I'd hoped we'd left that type of sort of genre behind, but obviously it's turned up in MESC. Personally, I think I'm allergic to music like that. It made me feel a bit itchy listening to it, so I wasn't a big fan. The vocal seems decent, and I'm looking forward to hearing her live. But yeah, it's not for me, I'm afraid.
Let's start a vote. I'm gonna kick it off with a 6. Nick,
I gave this a 5.
Kyle,
6.
Sean,
3.
the hater.
Does nothing for me.
20 points for Martina. Mary Claire is up next with Wildflower. Kyle,
Yeah, nice to have Mary Claire back. I think before she provided a good solid vocals, but the song perhaps wasn't there. This year though, I actually quite like the song. I think for once, a metaphor like Wallflower actually works quite well with the song, and actually comes together quite well. It's got a really gospel type vibe. It kind of reminds me a bit of like an Emily Sandé song or Monica from Lithuania in 2023 of how it builds up throughout the song. I think she really has the chance to show off an amazing vocal. Perhaps at the end it might get a little bit much. She needs to be able to rein that in. But I like the ending, how it comes back to her and it brings that softness back in. Yeah, I think it's an interesting ballad. It's not the usual standard Malta pop ballad, so I'm intrigued to see it live. So yeah, good job.
out of 10.
5.
Sean,
2.
wow. I think she needs a better song. She's much better than the song. For me, this is a 4. Nick,
Nah, 4.
15 points for Mary Claire, which puts her into last place right now. We still
Shocker.
have Victoria in the lead with 28. Let's continue with Adria twins and Alma Alb. Sean, first of all, did I
Okay.
pronounce that correctly?
Yes, Alp ma Alp. It
I
means
tried.
heart to heart.
Okay.
Besa Kokedima Zemran Endor is shaking in its Spotify release. Okay, this is not something that happens to me usually. First time I heard this song, completely passed me by like this. It's like something that just did not do it for me. And then it came out on Spotify. I think it was yesterday. It was one of the last ones to come out on Spotify. Oh my God, shivers. Complete change from the first time I heard it. I don't know what happened, but I'm obsessed with it. I think it wasn't an entry I was looking out for, but now I think it's in my top 5. It's amazing. It's the first time I enjoy a Melanie Wade song. So we can be friends now, but this is really good, and their first time in a local competition of this magnitude. I'm really surprised, and I salute them for sticking to what they believe in, and they're singing a song in Maltese because a lot of these artists, I think 21 out of these 24 songs came from the songwriting camp, which was mostly foreign songwriters, and many artists felt that they couldn't write in Maltese because the songwriters were foreign. Props to Adria twins for having standing their ground and having the song in Maltese. I think it's excellent.
Sean, out of 10.
7.
For me, this is only a 5. Nick,
Yeah, I liked it. 6.
Kyle,
5.
23 points for Adria twins, which puts them in a tie for second place together with Dario Bezzina and Zeppi l-Muni, and we still have Victoria in first place. Next up, we have Matthew Cilia with Control. This is very close to the type of music that I normally listen to, and I feel that Matthew with his band is trying to be a little bit like something between Linkin Park, a little bit of From Ashes to New. However, he doesn't really manage to reach that, in my view, musically, and especially in the bridge prior to the final chorus. I feel like the song needs to absolutely explode, and not just to create like little sparks. Also, what I missed in the preview video was seeing some actual stage presence and energy that this type of song actually requires, because just shaking your head at the camera and smiling and sticking out your tongue just won't do it for me. And I feel like it won't do it for many people. The song has a decent potential, but I don't know, just remains to be seen what he will do with this. I'm going to kick the voting off with a 6 for this one. Nick.
He was attempting rock, but he was not serving rock. 4.
Kyle.
Yeah, bang average. 5.
Sean.
It's his first time, but I agree, it's a 5.
20 points from Matthew. Cilia. Miguel Bonello is next with Breaking the Cycle. Nick.
Yeah, so yeah, I quite like the verses. It had a decent build. The lyrics are pretty naff. I have tried to listen to the song several times, and it's very generic in its wording. Miguel asked the mirror what it sees. Let's hope the mirror didn't reply saying cheap eyeliner and the need to wrap up warmer in winter, because that vest he's not going to be keeping particularly warm. So I didn't really dislike it, but it just was distinctly generic and average. So it didn't break the cycle for me, unfortunately.
Out of 10 for Miguel. Nick.
5 from me.
Kyle.
No, it's a 2, thank you.
Sean.
It's a respectable and solid 5.
For me, it's a respectable and a solid 4, which gives Miguel 16 in total. We have Haley next with Whistleblower. Sean.
I'm not blowing any whistles here. I'm sorry. No. The thing is, so this is Haley's third time, and a consecutive third time, and she's also done 2 Musica competitions. Every time it's a song that you can't see her artistry through. It's like I can imagine her like in summer being like, "Give me a song, guys, give me a song. I'll sing it for you." And then we go up on stage and she sings well, but it feels manufactured. It feels dishonest and it feels a little bit fake. I'm not gonna lie. And even there's a part in Maltese where she's trying to rap, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, we ain't blowing no whistles here. I don't like it. I don't think I will if I see it live. I really need Haley to start creating a genuine product.
This is one of the 2 songs where I felt like they tried to insert some elements of Alvaro Soler's music. Only like the second song did it slightly better, in my view. And also, I struggle to understand what the song is about. Like, I get it. Everyone gets it. She's the whistleblower. But with the lines around it, like, is she blackmailing whose ever secrets she knows? Or what's she threatening about? Like, I don't get it. And also, what you mentioned, Sean, as well, like the Maltese part, those couple of lines, they just don't do anything and they are a little bit out of place. And like we got quite a few songs this year in Malta Eurovision that are either fully in Maltese or partly in Maltese, and that's absolutely amazing. But here it was just like completely out of place. The song overall, it's all right. It's upbeat, sort of catchy, but at the same time, it's very simple. The playfulness of it maybe, I don't know, maybe pushed it slightly above average for me, but I wouldn't be surprised the slightest if this is one of the songs that gets knocked out in the semis. Out of 10, Sean.
A very generous 3.
I'll go with a 6. Nick.
Our sister Haley is an out and out gossip, and I love it. So she's blowing my whistle. 7.
Kyle.
6 for me.
She was only blowing Nick's whistle, apparently. 22 points for Haley, which now puts her into 4th place right now. Nathan is next with Concrete. Kyle.
Yeah, I spoke earlier about how I thought Marie Claire had quite a good metaphor. I'm going to do the complete opposite here and think that concrete is a terrible metaphor for a song. It's so cliched and basic. The backing track is actually okay. I don't mind the musical side of it. But the lyrics, like who's the song aimed at? I don't. It's trying to be like a NSYNC song from the 2000s, but with even worse lyrics and concrete and cracking and solid and just no, there's no need for these type of songs anymore. We've moved on. It's like you write a lyric for the sake of it. It just does not work. It's not needed. And this song needs to be put underground. Sorry.
Now that's a good metaphor.
It's hard to disagree with anything Carl has said there. Nathan, honey, I'm concerned to hear that you're made out of concrete. Maybe you should seek some medical advice. Musically it was okay. I quite enjoyed it. It was a nice build to it, good uplifting field. His vocals were good. Would this break Malta's non-qualifying streak? Not a chance. So I think we should just park it and move on.
I think that Nathan needs another song like Creeping Walls that was just miles ahead of his latest two Malta Eurovision entries.
It's interesting we talk about Nathan and Haley back to back because again with Nathan I feel like we need third time in a row, brother. We need to find you a mentor because these songs are giving too many different things. It's not versatility. It's lack of artistic direction. And yeah, I think Creeping Walls was the one. The songs just keep getting worse after every year.
Once he manages to top Creeping Walls, he's going to be back in the final, I believe, and then he might actually aim for a good result. Anyways, out of 10, Kyle.
3.
Sean?
Just for the decent song, I'm giving it a 4.
I'm still going to give it a 6. Nick?
Walls, concrete. He has a fascination with inanimate objects, obviously, but I did give it a 6.
19 points for Nathan. And after 10 songs, let's look at the top of our scoreboard. In first place, we have Victoria with 28 points, followed by Dario, Bezzina, and Zeppi, l-Muni, as well as Adria twins, who both scored 23 points. Haley and the Alchemists complete our top 5 right now. Next up, we have Kantera with Lalaratakeke, Lalaratakabum.
That was perfect.
I tried, thank you. This was actually a song that put a smile on my face like from the very first second. And when this happens, you know that that's a good song. And I was 100% invested in it from the moment it started. And honestly, like not in a million years would I have expected to hear something like this in Malta Eurovision. It was such a positive surprise. I love the ethnic touches in the song, the mix together with some modern music, with Celtic music, and just how bloody catchy the whole thing is. And of all 24 songs in this lineup, like this was the one that I wanted to re-listen immediately. I can imagine that like some people might find it annoying, but to me, this was just absolutely brilliant. And I cannot wait to see them perform this song live on stage. And they better not disappoint. They're definitely the ones to beat for me. And yeah, I'm Team Kantera all the way.
That does not surprise me at all. But yeah, I kind of agree actually. You know, it was the first hearing it for the first time. It's got that instantly catchiness, which grabs you, which you really do need. You need to stand out in semi-final. You need to have something instant. And this has got that in spades. It actually reminded me a little bit, you mentioned the Celticness, it reminded me a little bit of a song from Norway a few years ago called Vida Norge, which didn't actually qualify for the final, but it gave me that vibe. I really like that song.
I don't even remember it.
I think it's great to have the Maltese language in there as well. My only downside is that when I listened to it a second time, I did find it quite annoying. But you know what? That's just a fan point of view. When it comes to casual people, that won't matter. They're only going to see it once or twice. So you know what? It would be different. It would be great to have something stand out from Malta. Would it do well at Eurovision? I don't think if it got there, it would do as well as people might think at this stage. Always try and keep the lid on it. But yeah, I think it's a really different standout song. So you know what? Could do well.
I think in like a televoting only semi-final, this has a much better chance than if it was a mix of televoting and jury votes.
Yes,
but
definitely. Definitely. I think its only barrier is because I don't know. I think people vote a little bit on expectancy, and I don't know if people expect this kind of song from Malta. So that's the only thing. But we thought the same in Junior Eurovision because we sent a song in Maltese for the first time. And we came third in the televote. So, you know, let's go with Kantera. Let's go to Basel.
Let's score it out of 10, and I'll start it with a 10. Nick.
I agree with you for once, Irving. 8.
Oh, wow. Kyle.
I'm just keeping that lid on it a little bit. 6.
Sean.
A little bit. 9.
And if I'm not wrong, that's 33, which means that we have a new leader. and the Kantera are 5 points ahead of Victoria.
I could have given that a 1 there, but it would still be top.
Krista Sujak is next with Unheard. Nick.
Yeah, I remember listening to this the first time and thinking to myself, the structure of this song is very, very similar. I was racking my brains thinking, what does this sound like? And then it hit me. It's a very similar type of composition to Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. It has the soft opening, the building drama, the rockier edge to it from the second verse onwards, and then a big finish. And I thought, fair play, it's a decent homage. I really enjoyed it. But my main gripe with this is that, do we really want an Americanization of Eurovision? Eurovision is, how Maltese is this? It's about as Maltese as a Malteser chocolate. It's just not Maltese at all. So I'd rather not have Eurovision full of Billboard chart hit clones. But for what it is, it's decent. And I like Vampire. So, but I don't like this here.
Nick, you made an amazing point right there. We do not need to Americanize Eurovision more than it already is. I agree with you completely. There's nothing Maltese about this, especially when we talk about this right after Kantera and against the backdrop of the criticism that MESC has gotten for the last 10 years is that no songs have a Maltese flavor. And this is why this edition is going to be so special, because there are songs that could have been in Musica Musica, which is our local flavor festival. And we're finally bridging the gap. Simply put, I don't like this. I'm not keen on Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo. You're never going to find a song of theirs on my playlist. And for that reason, Krista Sujak will not have her song on my playlist. I simply put, I think this is pretty inauthentic.
Let's score this American non-Maltese entry. Unheard, out of 10. Nick.
I gave it a very average 5.
Kyle.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
Sean.
Yeah, I gave you that too.
And I'll give it a 4. Which means 17 in total. Kelsey Bellante is up next with 365. Kyle.
Yeah, I was really actually pleasantly surprised by this. I really enjoyed the vibes of it. It reminded me a little bit of Fancy by Iggy Azalea, which I'm not a huge fan of actually. But I kind of liked how instantly catchy it was, how different it actually was compared to the rest of the lineup. There's nothing else really like this. It's quite radio friendly, and I really enjoyed the spoken word part of it as well. I thought it added a point of difference, and it was a song actually I could probably hear on my recommended playlist and wouldn't think, oh, that's from Eurovision. Yeah, it's decent. I enjoyed it.
Rumor has it that Kelsey Bellante will be singing the song on stage with a Great British flag, because just like Jerry Halliwell, she left Erba, and Jerry Halliwell, Spice Girls, yeah. She left Erba for this song. She didn't actually leave Erba. She just submitted this song. It's a thing in Malta. I really like Kelsey Bellante with her Maltese music. She competed in Musica Musica, I think, 2 years ago with an amazing song, which actually didn't take her to the final. It was called Nistennik. And this is very different, very, very different to what she did 2 years ago. With that being said, when you see her catalog on X Factor, she competed on the first season, you would probably link this song more than the ones before to what she did on X Factor. So there is a bit of a dichotomy here. I don't buy this. I don't buy this as well as I bought her previous music, and certainly I don't buy it as well as I bought Airbus Sirena from last year.
I just love how that still reminds me of that Macedonian song from the national final in 2015. Erba song last year, not this song by Kelsey. All right, 365 out of 10. Kyle.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. 7.
Sean.
5 points for Kelsey.
I second that. 5 points for Kelsey from me as well. Nick.
I'm going to feel like a rank hypocrite after slating the Americanization of the contest, but I gave this a 7. Sorry.
24 points for Kelsey Bellante. All right, we're halfway through, and we're going to continue with Justin Shorfid with the song Still I Rise. Honestly, I low-key wanted Justine to be Destiny in X Factor Malta, mostly for kind of like supporting the underdog, but also just because how much she impressed me back then. And at that time already, like I knew Destiny for quite a few years. I know how amazing she is. So yeah, I just still wanted Justine to get a couple more votes and win. But anyways, let me get to this song. Like I'm almost sure that all three of you guys are gonna outvote me and disagree with me when I say that this is just as basic as it gets. Like there's absolutely nothing original in this song or in this performance, at least from the preview video. It's a very basic, I dare to say cheap beat that runs for 3 minutes with like a slight change here and there, but it doesn't have anything that's like standing out. I don't know. I'm 100% sure that Justine will sing the pants off of this song, but she did that to any song, let's be honest. And this is just so below her that like I just can't even put it into words. Justine, you won't win probably, so please come back next year with something of a level that you deserve, and you'll most definitely be out there for the winning. And yeah, now Nick can tell me just how wrong I am.
Well, my agreeing with you didn't last very long, obviously. I was, I think this is absolutely fantastic. This, Kantera aside, this is like real top tier of MESC this year. I enjoyed it from the first second to the end. Her vocal is sensational. We knew that. We've seen her on X Factor. So I've got no worries about her pulling this off live. I really enjoyed the contrast. There's some real soft moments in the song, especially in the bridge, and then another sweeping build-up. I love the drum and bass elements as well. Reminded me of Heaven by Emily Sandé in a way. It's a gorgeous song. It's really, really nice. So would I be happy with this as a winner? Maybe not. It's just slightly off the top for me, but it's a very, very good song. I don't know how she'd come back with anything better than this, Irving. This is sensational. I don't know.
Easily.
Don't know. I'm flabbergasted.
Well, out of 10, this is going to be a 4 for me. Nick?
9.
Wow.
Kyle?
8.
Sean?
7.
That gives her 28, which ties her for second place together with Victoria. Kurt Anthony is up next with Mieg Bis. Sean?
Okay. Again, first time for Kurt Anthony making it to the final round of MESC. I think props to him for singing this kind of song because it takes coconuts. Balls is what I mean. I didn't want to say balls.
What do you mean by that? What type of song?
Because it's a pretty dated song.
Oh, okay.
Let's face it. It's very like it could be sung by Santino De Bartolo on Festivali Këngës.
I thought you were
But-
referring to something in the lyrics because it's all in Maltese.
Oh, okay. No. Nothing scandalous. I just think it's super dated. However, and even his styling, it's 90s. It's 90s, and it's not necessary. It wasn't moving the needle back then, let alone now. But I think it's actually quite true to who he is. So in a way, I think I prefer a dated song sung by an artist who actually makes it his own, as opposed to someone we've talked about before, like Hailey or Nathan, who have no idea who they are as artists and they're just singing less dated songs. It doesn't mean that I like it. Also, Kurt Anthony has had a difficult relationship with PR and the press. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how his participation continues in Malta Eurovision Song Contest. But hey, I wish him the best of luck, and I wouldn't be surprised if actually the televote goes for this.
Out of 10 for this one. Sean?
It's a 4.
See, I thought this was actually quite powerful and had a really nice build-up, so I'll give it a 6. Nick?
I liked it less than Sean. 3.
Kyle?
I liked it less than all of you too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
15 points for Anthony. Next up, we're going to have Raquela with Silenced. Kyle.
Ooh.
This for me actually is a little bit cliched in terms of the lyrics, but I really enjoy how the song builds. I think she kind of grows into the song. And I think that even from the video clip we saw, I was kind of drawn in, which I'll be honest did not happen for a lot of them. I was more like, why are you doing that? Whereas for her, she kind of brought me in and I wanted to sort of enjoy the song. She has got a phenomenal vocal range. I'm really looking forward to seeing that live on this song. I think it has moments where she can really shine. Um, Again, just keep it in check because at the end there are some big notes in there that could be a bit shrieky if she went there, but I think she's got the capability to control that. Um, but yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's a well put together song. Again, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's done very well. And I think it's a song that she can really elevate live. So I'm looking forward to seeing it on stage.
She is going to sing the socks out of this song. She is the best vocalist in this lineup by a mile. I think it's her weakest MESC song, believe it or not. But to me, it's still up there with I think it's in definitely in the top 10. But yeah, look up her 2011 song. It's called If I Could Do It All Again. It's amazing. I don't know how it didn't win. She's a great vocalist. She's really good. And the song was actually composed by 1/3 of the busker.
The Busker have a couple of songs actually in this selection in that case.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get back to that. Kyle, out of 10.
I did enjoy it, but let's give it a 5.
Sean,
7.
I'll go with a 5 as well. Nick,
Not surprised to hear it was written by someone from the busker. 4.
21
Shade.
for Raquela. Kelsey Attard is up next with Love Me Loud. Nick,
Yeah, I obviously drew the short straw in the tributes to Olivia Rodrigo stages of this review show because this also reminded me slightly of a Olivia Rodrigo show song. Actually, it's quite similar to Vampire as well. I don't really have much else to say because I'm tired of talking about Olivia Rodrigo and Vampire. So again, I personally quite liked it. The song didn't really get going until the last 30 seconds, which was a sort of strange way to structure it. I just think it would be a terrible choice for Eurovision because, again, it's too American, and I'm here for the Maltese Eurovision Song Contest, not for the Baltimore Song Contest. So, sorry, Kelsey. Nice voice, but I won't be loving you loud.
Nick, put that into points. Out of 10.
I will give it a 4.
Kyle,
5.
Sean,
With love, this is a 2.
I'm more on Sean's side. This is a 3 for me. And 14 points for Kelsey, which puts her into last place. We didn't love her loud, apparently.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Next up, it's Kurt Calleja with Aziza. For me, This Is the Night was far from being a masterpiece, and this one is even less. Like, he waited 12 or 13 years to come back with this song. It's like, okay. Because here, there's just literally nothing memorable about the song, unfortunately. If it wasn't sung by Kurt Calleja, if it was someone completely random, if it was an artist that I haven't heard about before, like, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't have paid half the attention to it than I did now. It's good for background music in a way. It's inoffensive enough, like, not to necessarily want to bother to go and like skip or change the song or switch the radio station or something. But it's just so plain and it just goes nowhere. And I'm left a little bit disappointed, and I'm left wanting more. So yeah, I don't know. For me, out of 10, this is going to be a 4. Nick,
Yeah, it's like somebody having a smash hit and then coming back with a number 43 single.
pretty much.
I'm not sure why he came back after all these years with that. So I give it a 5, which is quite generous, I thought.
Kyle,
Yeah, very generous. Sorry, Kurt, too.
Sean?
It's funny you say that, Nick, because Calleja had a smash hit 2 years ago. He won Musica Musica with an amazing song, and he comes back with this plastic. I don't understand. Sorry, it's a 3. I forgot I had to give points for a minute.
Well, if my math is correct, that's 14 points for Kurt, which ties him with Kelsey in last place.
Ah,
And I know Nick is looking forward to talking about this one. It's going to be Miriana Conte with Kant. Go ahead.
Not just me. This is the song all of Europe is talking about. The eyes are on you, Malta. This
Fans
is
of Europe.
oh,
I mean,
well,
Eurovision fans. Yeah.
fair enough, but it's getting a lot of attention. Let's put it this way. So I've had an inner turmoil regarding this because I really like 2 songs from this selection. This is one of them. And the reason I was initially drawn to this, I really like the Destiny type, verses, and then it builds up into the most ridiculous, over the top, silly chorus. And her delivery as well. Well, we know she can sing. She did Venom last year, which was a very poor song, but she performed the hell out of it. So this is a serious upgrade on Venom for me. This is pretty much the first song, as I was saying, to go viral this season, unless you count Carnival, which is now way in the past. We've seen memes and videos. We've seen videos, Carl, of jubilant homosexuals dancing to this in a London nightclub. So we know it went down very well. I just know Ryland and Scott Mills are going to be itching to play this on Radio 2, and we're scrapping with their bosses just to make sure it gets a play. Given the quality of MESC over the last couple of years, we've had Busker, and I mean, okay, Luke wasn't that bad, but this is a really, as a statement from Malta, this is a really impressive breakthrough moment for them. Do I want it to win? I'm 50-50, as I said, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll agree for most of what you said. Like I said, it's you've got to create impact, right? And we said about Kantera earlier, and I think this also does that. It creates an opinion point, it creates a moment, and it creates a memory that people will vote for. You can't deny that. Is it a masterpiece? No, not at all. Are there bits in the chorus? I wish there was more than just a breakdown of music. I want something more. My fear is that if it did win, that the EBU would chop, chop, chop and sabotage parts of it, and then that would take away from the entirety of the song, and then we'd have serving, like literally that would be
blunt.
it. Serving blanks, which no one wants. So I fear that that may happen. However, it's a moment. It's gone viral already. It's been played in London in clubs, which does not happen for a lot of MESC songs, I must say. Um, and yeah, she is loving the moment. I've had a look on her Instagram stories, and she's just loving the attention that it's got. And I love that for her as an artist. And I think she will have a great time on stage selling it.
And she
Can I
should be
ask
loving
you?
the attention.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just ask you guys a question? Do you think casual Eurovision viewers will vote for this?
Yes,
Yes.
could top the vote if the UK were in the semi-final. It would be the talk of the show.
Well, let's not forget about all of those Lithuanian, Polish people living there.
Yeah.
They'll love it as well, I promise you.
All right, Kant out of 10. Nick.
Yeah, and just if they did make a change to the lyrics, you can change it to KAN apostrophe T and tell the EBU where to stick it. 10 from me.
Kyle.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, I've mucked up. When you said stick it, I was like, stick it up her can. Is that what you were going to say? But sorry. Oh, right. Apologies.
Pick your apostrophe.
Sorry,
Oh,
Nick.
dear. It's okay.
So out of 10, Kyle.
8 for me.
Sean.
6.
I can't believe Sean is actually stricter than I am. I gave this a 7. and it's 31 for Miriana, which puts her in second place, just 2 points behind Kantera. Dre Curmi next with Te Amo. I think that if this song came out when I was in like my early teens, I'd probably be all over this song. And it just sort of gives me that kind of feeling like it should belong in that time. It's nothing that's too special, and musically it doesn't feel that complex either, but it's sort of a feel-good song. And I also like the way that he plays around with his vocals during the song and creates the actual hook the song this song actually has. And the song is quite easy to sing along to. It's easy to remember, but it's probably not strong enough to be high in the rankings, I'm afraid. I'll be happy if this song makes the finals, but at the same time, like, can he just please remove that flute or whatever it is from the song? Because it really bothers me when listening to it. It's sort of, I don't know. It messes up the impression a little bit for me. But other than that, yeah, it's totally fine.
Anyone else has like this song reminds me of Oh Dias Tuca, Oh Dias
Oh God,
Tuca.
no.
I don't know why. It's giving warm weather. It's giving pina coladas on the beach at 10 a.m.
It does
And
that,
to
but
be
doesn't
honest,
remind me of that song.
I mean, what was that song serving other than pina coladas on the beach at 10 a.m. on a Thursday? I, the first time I heard the song, I was like, yeah, skip. But to be honest, when you put in there among the Kants and the Still I Rises and all of these kind of serious songs, yes, I did say Kant, K-A-N-T is a serious song. Um, there's something about it which I appreciate. It's kind of not taking itself too seriously. I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't think it's going to. I doubt it will find its place in the final, but it's giving warm weather. I like it, and I think actually, if this went to Eurovision, it wouldn't do as bad as Loop. It might come second to last in the semi, but hey, that's better than Loop.
I think Kyle disagrees with that.
I just don't want the loop slander here.
Well, let's score Te Amo out of 10. I'll start this with a 7. Nick,
Fun, inoffensive, retro, 5.
Kyle,
Yeah, I think I've been quite generous here. 5.
Sean,
I gave it a 4, but I, I gave it a 4.
Sean felt less generous. Well, we spoke about 20 songs now, and only 4 songs are left. So let's take another look at our top 5. Still in first place, we have Kantera with 33 points. Miriana Conte is in second with 31. And Justine, Shorfid, and Victoria are tied for third with 28. And then we have Kelsey Bellante completing our top 5 with 24. Next up, we have Stefan Galea with Lab Lab Talk Talk. Sean,
Okay, I think this is Stefan Gallia's best song ever at MESC. And it's interesting because we all know Stefan, he 10 more things than he should on stage, in the song, styling. And in this song, I feel like he really took a minute to get his house in order and clean up. And I have a feeling that that is going to continue in the performance. I think this is pretty good. I like that it taps into psychedelic pop a little bit. I think his vocals were never an issue, and he sings it well, and he will sing it well live. And yeah, for the first time ever, in my opinion, Stefan Gaia is in this competition with pretty much everyone else except maybe 10 people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, when the songs came out and I listened to them, immediately I thought, oh, I didn't think Matt Black was in it this year. I look at the writing credits, he's there, and you can tell straight away. again, I've mentioned a couple of times about impact, and I cannot deny it does have impact. It does create an opinion, whether it's good or bad, and you always would rather have that over having no opinion. However, in this case, for me, the opinion is bad, and it's just a bit annoying and just a bit much. I know, Sean, you mentioned that he maybe quite often before does a bit much. For me, just this song is a bit much. I can't imagine it's going to be understated on stage. And I think it's just going to be a bit of a hot mess. I'm afraid. So not for me.
Lab Lab Talk Talk, out of 10. Sean.
I am going to give this a very good 7.
I like this. Stefan gets a 9.
Ooh.
Nick.
It's quite unique. 6.
Kyle.
4.
Party pooper.
9. Are you on drugs?
26. Ready to go. Next up, we have JVF with Festa, No Time for Siesta. Nick.
Yes, the return of the enigmatic Jessica. I saw someone on Twitter refer to JVF as the Maltese Kino, and I haven't been able to get that out of my head since. Or I don't know. I don't know who Fred was supposed to be in this concept, but let's go with it. It was a interesting remark. The song is dated. It's very basic. It's reasonably enjoyable. I mean, I love Jessica. I mean, she has a discography of MESC classics, you know, that I've enjoyed many over the years, especially Hypnotica. But her entries get worse every year. I'm sorry, Jessica, I love you, but if you're going to keep churning out a song that's not as good as the last one, you need to think about potentially retiring, because this is not it, hun. This is not what we want. We want something better than this. This is a really strong field, and this song is basically floating on top of a pool of manure. It's just not good enough. I'm really sorry, but this one needs to get nowhere near Eurovision.
I disagree. Like, this is miles
Yes.
better than Kaleidoscope, which was her last entry, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Was it
She
not?
she had another song in 2023 in the quarterfinals
Yeah.
called Unapologetic, which
And a
was
ballad.
no, it was like
Oh.
it was a bit like Mantra in Benidorm Fest last year.
Well, I forgot that one with an even better reason than why I remember Kaleidoscope. But sorry. I agree with you, Nick, at saying that like this is a little bit old-fashioned, but it's still super fun. And it's a mix of like a whole bunch of things, both old-fashioned and modern. And this is the second song that I feel like they also wanted to do a little bit of Alvaro Soler in it. But I was vibing with it. I don't know. In the preview video as well, like you can see how much fun they're having, like performing this song. And if they manage to transfer that onto the main stage and their performance live and still manage to sound great, like I can see them actually getting a lot of televotes and potentially like being rather high in the scoreboard. I almost have no doubts that they're going to qualify for the final. And I mean, they're probably not going to win it, but I'm sure that this is going to become a hit in Malta, as it should. It's very
Yeah.
summery, it's very up-tempo, it's great fun. But yeah.
It's really good. And in her defense, to be honest, Nick, this song was not, Jessica's not behind this at all. She actually, it's not a song that she wrote or she intended to submit. The song was meant for others. Just check who's writing the song and you'll find your answers. And yeah. And then last minute we gathered a great super group. And I think I agree with Ervin. I think this is pretty good.
Let's put that into points. Nick.
It would have been good in the 2022 or 23 final, but I've got to say, with Jessica's amazing discography, this may sound a weird score after my review, but I did give it a 6.
Okay. Kyle?
I think it's perfect for kids' TV or junior. 3.
Okay. Sean?
Cancelled. It's an 8.
I second that. It's an 8 for me as well.
Bloody hell.
25 for Jessica, Victoria, and Fabrizio. And we have 2 songs left. Next up is Mark Anthony Bartolo with Hideaway. Kyle?
Yeah, it's nice enough. it's just very uncompetitive. It actually reminds me of a song from a musical, not like a musical style song, but like a Moana song, like one where you have a character walking along the beach just singing about their life or something like that to give some emotional quality to a character. That's really the vibe it gave me. Um, it's not bad. It's just kind of there, and then at the end of 3 minutes, it was like, oh, well, we're on to the next scene in the multiverse, as I would see in the movie. Yeah, good storytelling, but nothing much more than that. I can't imagine it's going to be that impactful either on stage. It's kind of drifty, but not dreary. So I'll give it that.
See, this is the other song that I know that has been co-written by the busker, and I genuinely think that this is Mark Anthony's best song that he's competed with in Malta Eurovision because he's been in it a couple of times as well. He has like a very specific color of voice when he sings, and I like that a lot. However, this song goes quite high vocally at times, and there are quite a few like call them vocal roller coasters, if you will, which I'm looking forward to seeing like how he's going to manage to sing this live. Because if he manages to make it sound great, it's going to be amazing. Song-wise, I don't know. It's very easy to listen to. It's not the type of song that's going to change the world, but for like having it on at literally whatever time of the day, it's perfectly fine. Like I just wish that they went a little bit more gospel in the final part because I feel like they just touched it and stopped there. I sort of see it as like a lost opportunity, but it's nothing that cannot be changed. And yeah, I don't know. Overall, I enjoyed it. Out of 10 for this one, Kyle.
3.
Sean,
I agree. I think it's the best song ever. It's a 6.
I gave it a 6 as well. Nick,
Song is okay. I'll never be a fan of his vocal style though, so 4.
and that's 19 points for Mark Anthony. And our last act is Christy Spiteri with Heaven Sent. Sean,
Heaven Sent. Yeah. Again, I think really, really, really interesting sound with Kristi Spiteri this year. Anything this girl does, to be honest, I have enjoyed. From her song last year with Sopranink, it was called Empire. It didn't make it out of the quarterfinals, but I think it was the best song in MESC last year. To this one, there's a smooth transition with Popera. Last year's song was very Popera. It was very Kate Miller-Heidke. This year, maybe less Kate Miller-Heidke, a bit more pop than opera, but it still got those opera vibes going on. I think this is very solid. The fans love this. It's it's solid. I can. This is going to be performed very well, and I can definitely see Thea from Thea and Salena's timber on the songwriting here. Yeah, solid. This is one of the best ones.
Yeah, so this was the second half of the dilemma I was talking about earlier because this song is sensational. That opening with the sort of electro beat going through the operatic lift into a almost like Agnes style chorus. That's what it was reminiscent of to me. I think some people will compare the opera elements to the code because people are lazy and boring and can't make genuine comparisons. Newsflash, oh, Nemo, can't remember Nemo. Isn't that terrible? Nemo didn't invent opera in Eurovision. So, Christy, you're doing well. The bridge is one of the moments of the season, I think. It's so good. Her vocal is just incredible. Okay, we got Linear Deb on the as part of the songwriting credits, but it's one of Linear's best, I think, if you look through Linear's discography. So, it really is up there. So
She
I'm
helped
50
write Loop.
okay, we'll put that one aside.
Only afterwards.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm 51% for this. I'm 49% for Kant. I'm happy for either, but my heart is telling me this. I love it. Please send it, Maltese people. I'll love you forever. I'll even come over in person to cheer it on.
I don't know, but when I think about opera in Eurovision, Nemo is not my first association. It's normally Alenka Gotar.
Yeah, no,
Ooh,
good point. Yeah.
great reference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of 10 for Heaven Sent. Sean,
8.
I feel less generous. For me, this was a 6. Nick
10.
and Kyle,
9.
and that means 33 points for Christy. We have a tie in first place between Kantera and Christy Spiteri, who both scored 33 points. Miriana Conte is in third place with 31, and Justine, Shorfid, and Victoria complete our top 5. 24 songs, 24 acts. Which is the one that you guys are most looking forward to seeing in the semis, and who do you guys have high expectations from, let's say? And seeing as Nick has already expressed his 2 very strong opinions about specific acts, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you'll be shocked to hear that I'm very much Team Christy, Team Miriana, but I also love Kantera and Justine. So any of those 4, I can't wait to see them.
Sean, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the show. I think Kelsey Spiteri, I think because the song has the operatic elements and a lot of vocal things in it, I'm intrigued to see that one probably more than the others, where I know Justine will do an amazing vocal. I know that Marianne will do an amazing vocal. Not that Christy won't, but it's just that the song demands quite a lot. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to seeing on stage, and how they present it as well. I'm really, when I hear it and see the initial presentation, to me, I'm like, oh, actually, how would you put on a show for that? So I'm intrigued to see what they do with it. But I actually am really looking forward to MESC, and that's not something that has been said often in the last few years, the loop excluded. But yeah, I think it'll be a great show, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that Kantera are going to put on a show. Just check out their performances in Musica Musica. They competed 3 times and they always came second. They're gonna be fine. So for that reason, I'm gonna go to my number 2, and I'm really looking forward to Dario, Bezzina, and Zeppi l-Muni. I think this is going. Yes, Kyle, stop looking at me like that. I think this is going. I think this has the potential to be performed incredibly, and I really, really hope we can break the code and let this do well. Honorable mention, I think Adria twins have potential to really do some damage as well.
For me, I'm honestly most looking forward to seeing Kantera as my only 10-pointer today. Apart from that, and apart from them, there are quite a few acts that I'm really looking forward to seeing and intrigued about, like what they're going to do and how they're going to do, like, for example, Stefan or JVF. But also, I sort of really am looking forward to seeing Matthew Cilia's performance, as I want to see if I'm going to be proven wrong. I want to see like a whole bunch of energy, and I want to see that guy completely owning the stage and giving that song a decent both vocal and visual performance as well. But we'll see. Thank you all for watching this video. Let us know in the comment section down below whether you agree, whether you maybe disagree with any of our thoughts and opinions. Let us know which ones are your favorites and which ones you're most looking forward to seeing in Malta Eurovision. And also subscribe to our channel to be completely up to date with all of our upcoming videos. There's going to be a whole bunch of interviews with national final artists, more review videos like this one, and also some other material that we're preparing for you during this Eurovision season. Thank you, Sean, Kyle, and Nick, for joining me for this video, and we're going to see you all very soon with our next video. Bye, everyone.